How are you? Top of the day to you. It's another time for us to join and discuss some topical issues. I am Wale Ogunade, your host on this program, and the program is called Voters Forum, coming to you live from the city of Lagos. It's going to be an interesting topic today because we want to look at a very important group of people who are out by virtue of their calling to ensuring that the society is better off. We call ourselves the social engineers to see how we can make the society a place where the rich does not overwhelm the poor, where those in authority do not take advantage of those outside it. More so, by virtue of that principle of social contract, it is a contract between you and those in government. And by virtue of that issue, they ought to ensure that holding the reins of government is for your own betterment by virtue of Section 12 of the 1999 Constitution, which provides and makes sure that the security and the well-being of the people is the paramount essence of government. And if any government is not running through that field, then definitely that's where we people come in. We just finished the annual general conference of the Nigerian Bar Association, rounded it up last Thursday. And we lawyers now made it a point of duty that not only are we going to stand tall, we are going to stand out against inanity and all these oppressive tendencies of government officials and failing to deliver on their promises. Anyway, I have an array of guests today, both in the studio and via Zoom. They will be joining us, and of course, we'll be discussing what the way should be or the way forward as it is. First of all, maybe if the technology allows, the lawyers, particularly I have on set, the General Secretary of the Nigerian Bar Association, Dr. Bolaji Ojibara, and of course, with us, joining us too via Zoom will be the chairman, I call her my chair, of the Lagos branch of the Nigerian Bar Association, Iron Woman. Anyway, you get to know the stuff she's made of. Of course, in the studio with me, I have our friends, comrade Declan Ihekari, and Malam Ishaya Ibrahim from the niche. Very soon will come out and of course begin to discuss these issues. And before we go for the mini feature, I just wanted to let your people know and tell them that Voters Forum is on and they should go. Those who are not around, you can just phone them because it's going to be an interesting package today. Tell them they can get us on the Play Store, Galaxy app, and of course they join us real time online. Don't go away. When we come back, we'll get cracking. Come back. I want to appreciate Teslim Ajayi for that wonderful report. In fact, they don't capture everything. If we don't see anything again, we can just as well just go. But then, we still want to hear from the horse's mouth and our guests in the studio here. The role of the bar. They have now committed themselves to standing out and standing tall. Are they ready? You, the people, are you ready to support them? I remember now during the Aluta days when we were in the trenches, when we start all our wahala, it is you, the people, that will be saying, "Una wahala too much, make una leave them, make them they do it that they do, we they look for our daily bread." You see where your daily bread has landed you now. Anyway, do we have, who is on the Zoom with us, please? The chair, are you there? Or the secretary, who is on the Zoom, please, can the engineers bring us in? Yes, great. The chair, good morning, ma. Good morning, the chair. I can see the chair.
Good morning, sir. Am I audible?
The secretary, Dr. Ojibara, can you hear me?
Good morning, Mr. Oguade.
It's all right. Maybe we'll continue with the... Dr. Ojibara, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Good afternoon, sir.
Good morning, Dr. Ojibara. Can you hear me?
I can hear you very well, clearly. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good afternoon.
I'm
fine.
sure you had...
This is past 12. We are already in the afternoon.
Okay then, please, can you, I'm sure you had the intro of the, by the reporter. Can you just let us into what we did in Enugu just last week, particularly what we came out with?
Okay, so thank you so much. Of course, what we did in Enugu between the 22nd and 29th of August 2025 was the 66th Annual General Conference of Nigerian Bar Association. And like your program has indicated, it is on the theme Stand Out, Stand Tall. The conference was held at the International Conference Center in Enugu State, and substantially, proudly sponsored in part by the government and people of Enugu State, for which the Nigerian Bar Association is very grateful. Of course, being a lawyer yourself, as you are aware, the Annual General Conference of Nigerian Bar Association is the flagship gathering of the NBA, which brings together all the leaders of the bar, the bench, members, captains of industry, political leaders, international partners, and civil society organizations, where we deliberate on the growth of the legal profession and its role in addressing Nigerians and Africa's most pressing challenges. Of course, I don't need to bore you with the details of the conference, but at the core of it was a Jumat service which held on the 22nd of August. We had the health walk and the conference neck meeting on Saturday the 23rd. We had the church service in the morning of Sunday the 24th, on the same day, which we also had our opening ceremony. You are aware of the fact that the opening ceremony was chaired by His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar III CFR, who underscored the centrality of law as the foundation of societal order, justice, and peace. Of course, in his opening remark, he called on lawyers to champion reforms in law, in social reforms, in social justice, and access to justice for the vulnerable, noting that justice remains the bedrock of governance and peace. We had at the conference as keynote speaker, Honorable Julius Malema. Julius Malema is a South African legislator and leader of the EFF. EFF is the Economic Freedom Fighters, who set the tone for the conference with what a lot of people have described as a stirring call for African lawyers to decolonize legal systems, to dismantle oppressive structures, and to build frameworks rooted in African cultural identity, dignity, and pride. He has challenged the African bar to reject being mere enforcers of outdated colonial laws. Of course, he had challenged us to become innovators, to drive transformation in justice, governance, and economic emancipation. So the host the host of the conference, Governor of Enugu State, declared the conference open. That's His Excellency Dr. Peter Ndubuisi Umba. He welcomed the delegates to states and assured us of security and hospitality, which pledge he made true of. Of course, a lot of people after the conference, and even during the conference, I've adjudged the conference as being one of the most peaceful, has been one of the most successful, has been one of the most enjoyable conferences of the NBA in recent past. There were a lot of mixed feelings before we left for Enugu for the conference. As you are aware, our initial plan was to have the conference held in Port Harcourt in Rivers State. But due to the declaration of state of emergency in the states, for which reason the NBA thought it not fit to go to a state where a declaration of state of emergency has been declared.
Dr. Jibara.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please. So that for time purposes, we've taken the synopsis of what happened in Enugu. Now, what is your resolution as lawyers?
After the conference was essentially the affirmation, or let me say reaffirmation, of the Nigerian Bar Association of its commitment to upholding constitutional democracy, due process, and judicial independence. The NBA, after the conference, in our communique, resolved to call for urgent review of the outdated laws and reforms to reflect current realities. We also resolved to urge restraints and accountability in the use of prosecutorial powers, particularly under sections 174 and 211 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic, Federal Court of Nigeria. Of course, we, in our resolution, condemned the systemic barriers that deny the poor and vulnerable access to justice. So, in this resolve, we resolve to strengthen legal aid. There is a pro bono department of the NBA at the Secretariat. Part of the resolution is to ensure that this pro bono service is extended such that we now have pro bono desk in all our branches of the NBA nationwide, particularly for services to be rendered for women and children. So these things.
I guess that's a good way for us to have a pause now, or you to take some water. Then we'll come back to you in the next few minutes. The chair, are you still there? My chair, Lagos. Chair, Lagos, are you there? Okay. Maybe before the chair, Lagos comes up. Comrade, you heard what happened in Enugu. The lawyers have now resolved.
Thank you.
Oh, the chair. It's all right. Let me quickly give my chair the opportunity. Madam Chair, you're welcome to the program formally. Yeah, you had the secretary. You contributed seriously in one of the sessions, particularly the issue of, I guess, the Child Rights Act and so on. And of course, you are a mother. And we see a whole lot of children subject to abuses in various forms, apart from pedophiles and so on. What is the stand?
Can you hear me?
And your own stand too in this regard of standing tall, standing out? Go on. And with you, we are waiting for you.
As you are muted.
Unmute your phone. We can't hear you here.
Muted. You can hear me. I am unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Chair.
Okay. You can hear me, sir. I wonder, we're on the Zoom call together, so I wonder whether those in the studio can equally hear me.
Don't mind
Mr.
technology.
Ogwade, can you hear me, please? Ogwedo.
Go on, ma.
But we're not hearing again.
Speak out, speak out. Oh dear me. It's all right, we'll work on it and we'll get back to you. You just try. When your voice up, then of course we can connect you. I guess there is something wrong with your own device over there. The technicians and the engineers will work on it. Once the sound is clear, we'll bring you up. Comrade, as I was saying, the lawyers have given themselves the tall order now. Is this something that they can work, or is it just a scene of the moment that after some time now the whole thing will fizzle out?
Well, thank you. To the best of my knowledge, our legal system has always been questionable. Our legal system, inclusive the bar, the bench, has always been the problem in this nation. And like I always say, when you get the bar right, you get the nation right.
I like that.
When you get the bar right in the sense that those that occupies the position of the judges are able to do the needful by discharging their duties without bias, without external influence, without political influence, they will get it right. We're in a country today where lawyers that knows the truth will go to the court with the truth, but they will be overwhelmed with the lies, and at the end, justice will be denied. And so, hearing lawyers now saying they are ready to start doing the needful, I want to believe that the position of the MBA in Enugu will also be the position of the judges. Because as a lawyer, you could be prepared. You could have enough evidence to support your client. But what happens when you get to the judges? If the judges are biased against you or against your client, what kind of justice will you get? So I want to see a situation where these lawyers now that wants to stand tall will actually stand tall against the judges themselves. You and I know when justice are severely dealt with. Wait, when somebody wins an election and before you know it, they begin to give you some technicalities that are uncalled for. I want to see a situation where lawyers will protest against such judges. I want to see a situation where lawyers at this point in time will actually stand tall against injustices happening in this nation. I remember in the days of the military, when we were on the barricade, the lawyers, when we look back and we see the lawyers, we say, yes, we're moving. But today, you see a lawyer going the right direction. You see another lawyer hired by another client going the other direction. It becomes the highest bidder. How much do you have to offer before you get justice? I want to see total change from the old ways of doing things. And that is why I'm laying my emphasis on the judges. See what happens to Sam Ekpa in Finland, of recent, and see what is happening to Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria. The lawyers are doing their best. But what happens? How come within months, justice was seen to have been sacked in Finland? And for years,
You are still on it here.
We are still on it here. And which made me to say that I think at this point in time, we should start transferring cases from Nigeria to Kenya.
That what we call jurisdiction, don't go there. It's all right, Malam. You are the journalist here. The work again is on you as a team, as a realm of government.
So it's a good thing that the NBA has come out with this position, that standing tall. Because the problems are very severe. Yeah, I think we're just glossing over it.
Yes, we'll be on it for some time.
Let me just illustrate a bit of it with a report that I worked on in 2014. A DSP, he was the Chief Amora, Kaduna Police Command, was arrested over allegation of gun running. A few days after, he was said to have died in police cell, that he committed suicide. The wife felt that was a foul play.
Or chicken play.
Yes. The police detained the corpse since 2014. The wife went to court in 2016, got a court order ordering the police to release that corpse. The police ignored. 2018, the then Inspector General of Police then, Mohammed Adamu, gave an order, a written order, to the police command in Kaduna to release the corpse and order for an autopsy. His order was based on the reaction of this, the senator representing Plateau South at the time, Major General, former FCT minister, Jeremiah Hussaini. Jeremiah Hussaini had intervened because the man was from his constituency in Plateau. He intervened. The IGP gave the order. That order from the IGP was still ignored. In 2025, just February, the woman now went to Brekete Family Radio, where she presented her case. Instantly, the man called the
Commissioner of Police.
Not the Commissioner of Police, the PRO at the time, Muyiwa Adejobi, you know, he's just leaving that seat now. Adejobi now said, you knew that it was a past administration, that this is a new dispensation. The woman should come the following day. And the woman went there. Lo and behold, that corpse was released. 10 years after. Court gave an order, the police ignored. The IGP gave an order, the police ignored. Until a radio station intervened. That is how bad the situation has become. That you no longer are too confident that because the court has given an order, that order can be received.
Please rest it.
Okay.
I mean, have you landed it?
No, just
okay. Let me give my chair. My chair. I'm sure you are ready for us now. Can we pick your voice? Say hello to me first.
I've been ready. The network has been cutting me
I know.
off. I know.
You have gotten an order to deal with the network. You're welcome, Mr. Chair. So I said child rights abuses. I'm sure you know about it. How can we move forward in this regard?
Well, everyone, whether women, whether children, they are all human beings and they all fall under the group of people. We are just people. So we fall under the protection of the NBA because let's not forget that the primary objective of the NBA is promoting the rule of law, public interest. There have been so many gross violations of human rights in recent times, and not just on children, even on women. And you see some of these violations being perpetrated by sometimes state and non-state agencies. So at our pre-NEC meeting, we took a stand that the NBA was going to play a much more active role in ensuring that these assaults are condemned, not just condemned, but also we would institute the mechanism of the Human Rights Committee of the NBA and the Public Interest Litigation Committee of the NBA to ensure that all these violations are tackled in the court of law. So this we have already been doing, but we took a fresh position on this at the pre-NEC. So I can assure you that you'll be seeing more cases of public interest litigation, and I don't want to narrow it down to just women and children, because, like I said, the NBA is indeed charged with protecting everyone, not just women and children. So you'll be seeing more of this. You'll be seeing more of this, and there are so many cases of human rights violations that have been there in recent times. You have the case of the core member who was assaulted by vigilantes, I would call them that, non-state security agencies in Anambra, where she was stripped naked. We discussed that, and actions are being taken in that regard by the NBA. We all witnessed what happened with the Ibom Air passenger. NBA made a public position on that. So when all these things come up in society, and I heard what the journalist said about a body that was detained for 10 years and finally released upon the intervention of a radio station. So we find that there's the court of public justice, which is in the media space. So I think people are more afraid of things going viral and the public knowing of what is going on. That is why you find that our president has been doing media rounds on some of these topical issues that come up. He'll talk about them, but beyond talking about them on the media, the NBA is actually taking active steps in terms of the human rights aspect. This is something that we've been doing, but if we do not publicize it enough, people will not realize that we actually take steps for all of this. For example, in Lagos, we've had situations where some of our members, not one, not two, have been gunned down by police officers. And I think it was earlier this year, the NBA Lagos concluded watching brief, and on the prosecution of a police officer who shot one of our members. It was on Christmas Day, I believe. Yes, it was on Christmas Day, and he was convicted. So there are so many of other such cases that are in court and are being handled, being handled in terms of watching brief. Obviously, it's the state that has the right to prosecute some of these offenses. But when the NBA is involved and the Human Rights Committee of the NBA is involved and we push more, it now brings in that public, the court of public justice perspective, the public awareness aspect of it. When people are aware that the NBA is interested and that, we're getting more involved in this, it tends to give the matter expeditious hearing. Because that incident that I speak about happened, I think, barely 2 years ago. Yes, happened barely 2 years ago, and judgment has already been passed. If you ask me, that is a speedy judgment, considering the usual time frame that it takes for judgments to be granted in Nigeria, and that is because the NBA was involved. And whenever the matter comes up, we go there in our numbers to show solidarity and show that we're actually watching and we are on guard. So the NBA is taking this much more seriously. We have always taken it seriously, but we are taking it much more seriously this time around, and we'll continue to push. So if, for those who are watching this, for those who are listening, if you come in contact with any form of violation of human rights, be it on a child, be it on a woman, be it on anybody, please escalate to the Nigerian Bar Association in whatever jurisdiction that you find yourself. I'm sure that if you go on Google and you type Nigerian Bar Association, a number will pop up, whether for Lagos, whether Dr. Ojibara's number, a number will pop up. So escalate it immediately and it will get the necessary attention.
For asking this question, people really see the lawyers as that for the rich. And I know that we lawyers have the human rights desk to carry out pro bono matters. Can you just expatiate on that? Because many people just look at it that they will just keep quiet and suffer in silence because they cannot afford. Of course, if you can even put us in it, the police people are there. Of course, people are even afraid of going to the police station. And of course, you remember the session we had with the security agents. The policeman was telling us the issue of mobilization is not in their books and so on. Is this something you can just speak to? Go on.
The General Secretary has already alluded to this, speaking about activating pro bono cases. But again, this is something that has always been in existence. Every branch of the NBA has a human rights committee. And that human rights committee is charged with, ensuring that the human rights of citizens are protected. So it has different subcommittees. You have the advocacy, you have the police duty solicitor network, and you have so many others, but I'll mention just these two because these are the aspects, these are the subcommittees that have to do with public interface. Police duty solicitor network. I'll speak authoritatively for the NBA Lagos because this is a committee that I've been involved in even prior to being chair. We go on regular visits to police formations, at least every month or twice in a month. We go around the police formations within our jurisdiction and we pay them visits to ensure that people are not being held in their cells illegally, to ensure that the people that are held there have access to legal representation, and just to see how we can generally move things along and ensure that judicial process is upheld in all of this. That is something that can be fact-checked. All the police formations within our jurisdiction, we go there. So that is there. Then for the pro bono, we pay regular visits to the prisons. Sorry, I take that back, to the correctional facilities because it has been renamed. We pay regular visits to the correctional facilities where we conduct legal clinics there. We take up cases for those who cannot afford legal representation. We take up their cases and we handle it from start to finish. We've been doing this at least every quarter. We pay a visit to the correctional facility, take up cases. I was involved in the last one. This was barely 2 months ago. And we went there, took up well over 60 cases, and we are going to represent them free of charge. We don't even need to go to the correctional facilities. Anybody, there's a human rights desk, and we can share the number. When I go offline now, I'll get the number and I'll share it so that it can be projected at the bottom. You save that number. If you witness any form of human rights violation, please reach out to this human rights desk. But even beyond the human rights desk, assuming you do not have the number, simply Google Nigerian Bar Association. A number will pop up and they will direct you to the appropriate channels. You mustn't have all the money in the world. In fact, even beyond the Human Rights Committee, there are a lot of lawyers that take up matters for free. A lot of lawyers, myself inclusive, aside the work that we do with the Human Rights Committee, I take up a lot of matters pro bono. So the law is not just for the rich. Lawyers don't just attend to the rich. A lot of us do a lot of things free of charge. Pro bono means free of charge. A lot of us do things pro bono for the general public. So you just need to know that these opportunities are there and avail yourself of the opportunities that are there. So at a branch level, at the national level, we take all these things very seriously.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
So Mr. Ogwade, I don't know if I could come in here.
Yes, I was coming to you. Come up, please.
Thank you.
Jensek, come on, Dr. Jibara.
Let me start by commenting.
Go on, let's quickly have you before the network. Go on.
The chair of Lagos, she has said a lot about the issue of pro bono services, and I want to commend her. And I also want to use this medium again publicly to congratulate her on her emergence as the first female chairman of the NBA Lagos branch. She just recently emerged as the chairman and first female for that matter. Mrs. Ogwedo Akingbade Congratulations. Incidentally, if somebody does not think about it very well, one would have thought that the anchor and the chair are related. The chair is Mrs. Ogwedo, the anchor is Mrs. Ogwade. So I'm trying to see the connect to so having said that, the MBA conference by its team reaffirmed that lawyers are not an exclusive club. The MBA exists to protect rights. We exist to ensure access to justice, and we exist to strengthen democracy. There are a lot of course, it's a lot of things happen that people that happen as a result of ignorance. There are a lot of platforms through which the citizens will get free legal services. A lot of, depending on the one you know about. We have talked so much about pro bono. Pro bono essentially means free legal services. There is Legal Aid Council across the various states of the Federation. The council is put in place not by the MBA, but by the federal government of Nigeria to ensure that every citizen of Nigeria has access to justice. And essentially, what Legal Aid Council does is to offer free legal services to indigent members of the society in whichever part of the country you find yourself. They have offices in virtually all the states. So depending on where you find yourself and that you cannot afford legal fees, you can always walk to any of their offices to seek for free legal services. Again, virtually all the ministries of justice across the Federation has a department they refer to as the Public Defender's Office. Even though Ministry of Justice exists essentially to prosecute on behalf of the states, they also have a department where they also defend indigent members of the society for free. So if you go to any Ministry of Justice in whichever state you find yourself and you ask for the office of the Public Defender, they offer free legal services for whatever purpose you require them. The chairman has spoken about PDSN. That's also an idea by a group of lawyers who bring themselves together to ensure that people, citizens, indigents who cannot afford free legal services have access to justice. And that is why they have even gone steps further. Because in all these ones, as mentioned earlier, you have to go to them to seek their help. But the PDSN actually seek indigents, citizens who require legal services but cannot have access to them. And that is why periodically they visit the police station, periodically they visit the correctional centers to seek out litigants, to seek out defendants, to seek out inmates who require legal services but cannot have access to them. And like the chairman has said, there are a lot of numbers that you can reach out, that you can seek out, that you can call when you have legal issues for which you require legal assistance. I would have said I will share some of these numbers on the screen now with the TV now, but because of the fact that I wouldn't want to share a number that a network will not allow you to reach out to. What I can say here is that wherever you find yourself, now the MBA, because of course we receive applications at the secretariat every time for pro bono services. But of course, we have a database for pro bono lawyers, lawyers who seek to offer pro bono services to indigents across the Federation. So we have also extended this, like I said earlier, to branches of the MBA across Nigeria. So wherever you find yourself, just look out for the office of the MBA branch where you find yourself. Ask for the chairman of that branch and tell the person you require free legal services. You can be sure it will be extended to you. Thank you. Mr. Ogunade, are you still there?
Dr. Jibara,
Hello.
one of our guests talked about how justice is served. Not only about EPA, you remember to Oibori in London the other time. And we just find out that the slow speed at which justice is served in this country. He mentioned a very important issue. How do we engage the judges so that as we want to stand out and stand tall, the judges equally will be out on the same page with us? Doctor.
Okay, so why we at our end have commended the speed, the process through which EPA's case was conducted in Finland. I also want to say that despite the complaints we have about the justice system in Nigeria, of course, which we are working at our end to ensuring that it's improved. Let me state publicly now that our judges are actually trying their best. But we find ourselves in a situation where we need to revive the justice institution in Nigeria. Part of the problem we are having, which we have always advocated for, is the lack of independence of the judiciary in Nigeria. Of course, we found out that in a lot of cases, appointments, promotion of judges are sometimes tied to political affiliation, unfortunately. So the fact that the independence of the judiciary has not been ascertained in Nigeria are part of the problem that are still bedeviling the institution of justice in Nigeria. Of course, in a place like Finland, you probably would look at it and find out that you don't have such problems with the institutions there. So I want to say that by all means, our judges are trying as much as they could, but the slow pace of justice in Nigeria cannot be divided from the lack of the independence of the judiciary, which we have continued to advocate for.
Thank you, Doctor. Time is not our friend, and that's how it is on a program like this. What we'll say is that maybe, as we say on this program, you have failed. Or for us, if someone failed, it means that you're going to have a retake, which means we'll call you back next week. That's what it means. We've enjoyed your own take, and of course, we just want to give the chair 2 minutes before the time is off. But the way I see it, we'll have it to assemble this panel again next week. God helping us. The chair, your take, final take concerning the way forward. Now I can see that all of us, including you, come out now with this vigor that yes, we want to ensure that the people have a take of a justice system that will speak for them. From the Lagos branch down, I mean, it's as if we are moving down to the north. From the Lagos branch, maybe you representing all the chairmen now. What is the chairman going to do, or the various branches going to do in ensuring that people have serious access to justice? Please, 2 minutes. Time is against us.
We will continue to build on the good work that we are already doing. We'll continue to strengthen the systems that we've already put in place. We'll continue to ensure that we leverage, like I said, on the structures that we've already put in place, continue to interface with various stakeholders, the security agencies, the police, and other security agencies, collaborate with them, work with them, participate in trainings with them so that they understand the importance of upholding the rule of law and the importance of human rights. And we'll continue to take these measures that we are already taking. And possibly we would do a bit more in terms of amplifying our efforts, because the truth of the matter is all this good work that we are doing, if we are not putting it out there for the public, they may not be aware that all of this is going on. So we'll do a bit more in terms of amplifying the efforts that we are making. We do amplify them within our legal circles, but maybe we should do a bit more in terms of amplifying it outside the legal circles so that people know that these opportunities exist. So in summary, that is it. We'll continue to strengthen the structures that we have in place and do a bit more in terms of amplifying our efforts so that people know that the opportunities exist.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. My guest, Mr. Ibrahim, you've heard what the lawyers have to say. Does it resonate with you, the journalist, particularly what the chairman just said now, amplifying? That's why you people come in. Do we expect a synergy so that injustice, because they are working, people are not aware of the work the lawyers do. They see lawyers painted as if they are just there for the rich. But when activities of the pro bono activities come up, and people know, and they can always go to various bar and even approach the legal profession and professionals. So how do you come in as journalists now?
So let me confirm what the chairman, the Ikeja branch of the NPA.
No, she's Lagos.
Lagos branch of the NGA. That's what I'm trying to say. I want to confirm what she said about the activities of the Human Rights Committee. I know that the June 12th, the End Bad Governance Group, they had a protest on June 12th.
Yes.
And the Human Rights Committee of the NPA, Ikeja branch, wrote a letter to the police asking the police to protect the protesters.
Yes.
Because we know what happened to protesters. They could be attacked by even the police and thugs. So they asked, protect these protesters. Secondly, we're going to be on the ground to observe, and we'll file a report at the end of the protest. And I can confirm to you that they did all of those, because I got the report, which we also published, their observation that the police were biased because there was a counter-protest at the Ikeja Under Bridge by the pro-government protesters. And those ones were trailing the other protesters.
The real protesters.
They came with their massive musical instruments to dwarf whatever the sound of the new protesters were. So I can confirm that. And the NBA, the National NBA, I want to also suggest, fortunately their head office is in Abuja. They should go to the Abattoir police station. Abattoir police station. One of the End Bad Governance protesters just released his memoir. You know they are facing trial for participating in that protest. Michael Lenin, he released his memoir in which he detailed how he spent over 30-something days in that Abattoir police stations, where they sleep as sandwiched, where they are, in fact, no room to sleep. Some even stay in the toilet. The secretary
is in Abuja. He will let him work on that. So,
and in that memoir, he recalled an incident where somebody ran mad. 4 months he's been in detention, that fellow. 4 months he's been in detention. I know that the rule does not allow the police to detain somebody beyond 48 hours. It's supposed to be 24 hours. If the court is too far, then you have a liberty of 48 hours. But how come people are there for 4 months? The police cell is not designed to keep people for that long. So the NBA should please do something, because human rights are involved here.
Those who are on this program today will do. One is a chairman who is representing the chairman in all the branches, and the secretary is a powerhouse. They are both listening, and you can be sure that after this, and you know me now, we're going to take this up. Comrade, Your last take.
Yeah, my last take is that the lawyers, the NBA, should stand tall against the activities of the Nigerian police force. There's a lot of right abuses.
In fact, we are going to present you one day. We will give you one whole day for your own involvement with the police.
Within that aspect, a situation where you find a situation where somebody is taken to the police station now, and the police will ask you to bail yourself, and failure to bail yourself, the next thing is that they will charge you to court, knowing fully that at the court you will be hard of are you guilty, are you not guilty? Then you will now say you are not guilty. The next thing is to remand one in prison
because of bail conditions.
Because of the bail conditions.
Yes.
So the NBA should also work on a situation where people could be granted bail on self.
Recognition.
Self is very important. Very, very important. So when people are wishing in prison today is as a result of pleading not guilty.
Yes,
and they have no reason to be there.
Madam Chairman.
So they should work on the magistrate and the judges where Nigeria should be granted
work on the magistrate.
Bail on self. Once you are able to present the fact that yes, I have means of identifying myself as a Nigerian, this is where I live, you should be granted bail.
Yes.
Once that is done, it will curtail the excesses of Nigerian police force who hurriedly take you to court when you are able to settle.
Yes. I wish this is a very good point to rest today's program. Very, very interesting, very, very educative, very, very engaging. And just as I said, I'm sure with the permission of the management to get in touch with the two guest colleagues. I hope they will be opportune, particularly the chair. I want her to be on studio with us. I was telling her that we will have problems of communication. The chair, sure you see the thing came up as I said. Anyway, trust you. We will be together next week, hoping we'll work it out at the next adjourn date. Don't mind us lawyers, we are always working on adjourn dates. The secretary, we really want to appreciate you for giving us your time out of your tight schedule. We really appreciate your presence with us. Again, too, if we can make it, we'll work on another appointment with you, so that again we'll now lay some few things that are agitating the minds of the people. You heard what our guest in the studio said. And of course, there are several things that we want to work on. We want to stand tall. We want to stand out as lawyers, and we want to go get cracking, rolling up our sleeves like this, and of course, start work on time. That's what we want to do. And that's why we brought this program today, so that you people too, you support us in ensuring that justice is served to anybody, irrespective of or anybody who is involved or who is in contact or in conflict with the law. That is the program for today. I want to thank you, gentlemen. Comrade, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, Malam.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, they are great Nigerians. And I want to thank our guest, Dr. Jibara. He's the Secretary General of the Nigerian Bar Association. If you hear NBA, that's what NBA stands for, Nigerian Bar Association. We fight for you people. And of course, that's the downtrodden man, people. And of course, my powerful chair, the first female chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association, Lagos branch, the premier branch. We welcome you. We want to wish you all the best in your endeavors, and we know that indeed you will succeed. We want to thank you for being part of this program today, and for you who have been watching. There's no time for us to make any calls or even, to send any text messages. The thing they loaded. You see now, we no get, I tell you, the thing they come now, when we go to enjoy ourselves, Baku Bereketa on this program. Until next time when we bring you another episode of this program, I want to wish you a very wonderful week ahead. And please, those of you in the river-prone area that is flooded sometimes, please take notice and just try and keep away. And of course, the continuous voter registration is on. Ensure that you get yourself registered and of course be part of it. Till this time, I'm Wale Ogwande, your host on this program called Voters Forum. I want to use this opportunity to thank the president of this station, Chief Steve Ojo, the producer, Mr. Teslim Ajayi, the cameraman, the engineers, and all those who made this happen. Thank you very much. Till next time, cheers.